Okay, real question. Was that actually a sign from the universe? Like, was it really divine guidance or was it anxiety in like a spiritual outfit? Today, we're talking about something that every intuitively curious, woo woo, spiritually gifted, healing centered person has asked themselves. Is this my intuition or is this my imagination? Like, is the universe sending me a sign or am I just being a little desperate? And listen, there's no shame in that because I think a lot of us have experienced both. We all kind of have to learn what our intuition actually sounds like and feels like, and it is different for all of us. However, there are some common baselines that I will say that are standard. In the healing space, we love to say that I'm following the signs, right? But sometimes you might be following your triggers. Have you ever thought of that? You might be following your fantasies or even your unhealed wounds in disguise. So in this episode, I'm going to help you break it down and figure out, is this a sign or am I just tripping a little bit? And if you're tripping, that's okay. I've done it too. You know what time it is. It's time to get comfortable, grab a drink, grab a snack. It's time to tune in and shift with me. Welcome back to the On Some Real Shift podcast, where I have real conversations on what it takes to shift your mindset and uplevel your emotional and spiritual life. I'm your host, Vanessa. I'm a certified and accredited life coach. I'm a mindset transformation coach. I do Reiki and sound bath healing, but most importantly, I'm a student of the universe, or the university as I like to call it. Welcome back, friends. We're going to get right into it, okay? Our brains are wired to make meaning of things. So I talked about this in the manifestation episode, but the reticular activating system is the part of the brain that filters out or that filters what you notice. So for instance, let's say you bought a red car. Now you start to see red cars everywhere. And it's not because the universe has multiplied them. It is because your awareness for red cars has been turned on. So when you're in a moment of chaos or confusion or just craving a breakthrough, your brain is hungry for patterns. And if you're in the healing space, then you are also learning to trust the signs, trust the divine guidance, trust your intuition, trust in divine timing. Oh my God. Like, I know it's so important, but some days I just want to be on my own timeline, you know? Anyway, so naturally, the moment that something coincidental happens, you say, oh my gosh, this is a sign. He texted me right after I thought about him. That must mean something. But then this is where I come in as a coach and say, don't confuse coincidence with confirmation bias. Why do I say that? Because your brain cannot help but search for evidence that confirms its dominant emotional state. So if you're anxious, you'll see danger. If you're hopeful, you'll see confirmation. If you're in love with their potential, you're going to see signs everywhere telling you to hold on just a little longer. So we have to check that. Are you really looking for truth or are you looking for comfort? How do you really know? I'll tell you. And I've talked about it again a little bit before, but signs from the universe do not feel frantic, okay? They feel calm. It feels neutral. It feels grounded. It feels quiet. It feels unshakable. It's not going to feel like a very loud, oh my gosh, yes, do it, right? It is going to feel like a grounded, deep inner knowing, a gentle knowing. As I've said, intuition does not scream. You might notice a number pattern, hear a song lyric, have some sort of coincidental connection, but a sign doesn't drag you, right? Like, it just confirms what your soul already knows. It feels like a, yeah. You know, does that make sense? I don't know. You know what it is? A sign should pull you closer to yourself, right? Not just a result that you may be desperate for. In other words, if you are just calling it a sign because it matches your fantasy, then it's not a sign. That's just like a form of spiritual rationalization. Let me say this clearly. If the sign is asking you to avoid your truth, avoid your boundaries, avoid yourself, avoid your growth, that's not God. That's not the universe. That is not whoever the higher power is that you subscribe to, okay? That's your unhealed inner child trying to negotiate with the universe, and that's not how it works. So you might ask, okay, Vanessa, so how do I check? How do I figure it out? Before I really learned how to trust my body, trust my intuition, trust the signs, there were some questions that I would ask myself, so I'll share those with you guys. And honestly, I still have to use them now. The first question I asked myself is, what emotional state was I in when I received this quote, quote, sign? If I was panicked, if I was obsessed, if I was spiraling, then I pause. Because spirit, the universe, whoever you subscribe to, typically does not communicate in chaos in times of distress. Again, that is your brain looking to confirm what it thinks it wants. Question number 2, would this still feel like a sign if I was deeply regulated and grounded in this moment, in the moment that I received that sign? In other words, if I was not starving for some form of validation in that moment, would this sign hold any weight? Question number 3, probably the most important question to me, is what is my body saying to me? Not just my brain. 99% of the time, your soul already knows the answer. We talked about this. Your soul, your body knows the answer before your brain and your ego has a moment to catch up. And you should know by now, your body does not lie. Sometimes the clearest sign is the discomfort, that lingering heaviness, the tightness in your chest, the heart palpitations, the headaches, the heavy breathing. That's not a glitch. That is the message. Okay, but what do you do if it is a sign? I would say don't act instantly. Anchor first. Drop into your body, drop into your stillness, drop into your breath. If we are willing and able just to be still with ourselves, our body tells us what we already know. It tells us so much. Journal it, test it out, ask for clarity. Sometimes I literally say to the universe, if this is real, I need a triple confirmation in a way that I cannot manipulate. I sit back and I just let the universe do its thing, even if that means I get slapped around a little bit, because your higher self doesn't need to rush. It's your ego that's in a rush. It's your ego that thinks that everything is urgent. Your fear is what needs the proof, okay? But your spirit already knows. Honestly, sometimes the sign isn't stay, right? Sometimes the sign is you've already seen enough. All of this really just goes back to trusting your intuition, being able to sit with yourself, being your body, your soul, and your spirit. They already know. They always know. You always know. And honestly, you're not crazy for wanting signs, so I hope you don't take it that way. You are not weak for needing reassurance. We live in a society that says that we need proof for all the things, so I get it. You are just a human trying to make sense of this beautiful, sometimes chaotic, and multi-dimensional life that we have, okay? But if you're going to live a spiritually led life, then you have to follow discernment, which means you don't just follow the magic, you have to follow the truth. I'll leave you with this. The biggest sign that you will ever receive is the one where you feel like you don't have to explain your knowing. You just know. If this episode brought you clarity, then share it with someone you love. And DM me the signs that you've been questioning lately. I would love to reflect with you. You know how to do it. Listen to your body. Keep it real with yourself. You know what to do. You just might not want to do it. That's okay. But you're here. So now it's time to do the thing, okay? As always, I'm super grateful for your time. I will catch you on the next episode. Peace.